On our boat, have we ever gotten a little bit too close for comfort? Yes, we definitely have. We have had quite a few times where we almost collided with other boats. Thankfully, we never actually crashed into them, but we've had some close calls. One of them happened when we were just inside of our boat, everything was normal, then we heard people outside screaming to us, "Song of the Sea, you're gonna crash into another boat!" And turns out our anchor was dragging, which means it wasn't holding. And so we were moving back at a rapid speed and we were seconds away from crashing into another catamaran. Thankfully, my dad turned on the engines just in time and we could maneuver away. It might surprise you that it's actually a lot easier to collide with other boats when we're in an anchorage, not when we're out in the open ocean. And in this video, I really want to explain why. So imagine this anchorage with two boats. Let's call this one Song of the Sea because that's how I drew it. Well, this monohull right here dropped its anchor a lot more shallow, so therefore it has to drop a less of an anchor chain than we at Song of the Sea did, because when we drop the anchor deeper, that means we need to have more of a chain laid out. And this configuration is completely fine. The boats have a lot of space in between them when the wind is coming this way. But the problem mainly arrives when the wind changes direction and starts coming this way. Why is that a big deal? Well, boats always change their orientation to face into the wind. So the anchor will stay in place, but the chain will sort of swivel around, and so will the boat. The boat will all of a sudden be facing this way. And when this happens for our Song of the Sea, which in this case has the longer anchor chain laid out, then all of a sudden we have the problem. Bang! They hit each other, they collide, or they at least get really, really close to colliding. Obviously, that's a big problem. That's why whenever we enter into an anchorage, we usually ask the neighbors around, "Hey, what depth did you drop your anchor at and how much chain did you put out?" That way we can sort of gauge where we should position ourselves and how much chain we should let out. However, just because we ask other people doesn't mean that we're always going to be safe in every single situation. Sometimes the wind comes from an unexpected angle and suddenly, despite our planning, it's like, whoa, we're so close to a collision. So usually when that happens, one boat or both boats will change the amount of anchor chain they have let out or just completely move to a different spot. One of our craziest stories was when we were in the Caribbean and a huge mega yacht anchored nearby us. Somehow, despite their great size, they put out less chain than we did. So the wind changed and sort of did a circle around itself. So our boats were moving woo and completely changed orientation. And suddenly, in the middle of the night, we found out that our anchor chain had wrapped around the one of this mega yacht. And thankfully, my sister Natasha was staying with us at the time, and she stayed up really late. And in the middle of the night, she saw that we were about to hit them. We were literally inches away from hitting them. So she started screaming and screaming. She woke all of us up, and we rushed to get away from this mega yacht. And it took us a long time to figure out how to untangle our anchor chains, but we did eventually manage to do it and to get away safely without hitting them. With all of that said, I'm really grateful to God that despite all the hazards and despite all of our close calls, we've never had a time where we've actually crashed into something. So I'm really happy about that. I hope you all found this interesting. Thanks for watching!